I already opened my beer, guys. I couldn't wait any longer. I needed a fucking beer. Today was
I
shitty.
have a weird beer. I'm gonna show it to you. It's not really a beer. Don't judge me. Don't
Don't
judge
judge.
don't judge me on the beer
Oh,
I have. I just it was the only one in my fridge. And we are live. All
That's gonna
right.
be a fucking beatbox.
It's not, I swear. No more beatboxes for me. Welcome back everyone.
what is a beatbox?
It is a high alcohol content juice box, basically.
Oh
It's
That
Jesus!
is very fucking dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Anyways, open us up, dude.
We'll get into that later on. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great blah, 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 great week as usual. I appreciate everyone showing the love and support. We are moving, guys. Thanks, guys, for all the love and support we get on this podcast. You can find us at all your podcast channels: Spotify, YouTube. I'm not gonna go through all of them. Apple, anywhere you can find podcasts, we're probably listed. Three Guys One Discord. Check the YouTube. Three Guys One Plate. If you type in Three Guys One Discord, you'll also see the Discord pop up. It's on the same channel. I'm here with my two good friends, RC, spelled ARECSEA, RC, and then Squid up here on the right corner. That's how they.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because he's so.
Oh my fucking god!
That was funny. That was good. I liked it. I really did.
Oh my god.
So how are you guys doing? RC, go ahead. How you doing, my good friend?
Today was a bit of a shitty day, but I'm doing good. No complaints. It is what it is.
That's good. That's good that you had a shitty day. Anyways,
I'll live through it.
no, you gotta have the shitty days to balance out the good days, because if we're only having good days all the time, then we're gonna rate our good days as shitty days. All right,
That's true.
Edward, Squid, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Just living, trying to survive still. Got to work tonight, so I can't drink.
That sucks to suck.
I know.
Squid's camera looks like
Dude,
you're
I don't know what the
like you
fuck
just
is
got
going
out of the
on.
water.
It actually looks better. It's not losing focus as much as usual with that background blur.
That's why I
So,
did it. 'Cause it
it's
keeps
actually
on.
working a lot better for you. So
All right, let's just keep it there.
It's just funny because it's like I just woke up and I'm like dreaming like about you, and like you're on top of me. I don't know. Okay, let's not get into that. All right, guys.
Steve, how are you doing?
I
yeah,
not
Gotta ask you.
I took a little I backstepped. What did you call it, RC, when you backstep, regressed?
Backslide.
Backslide hard. Like I think like a couple weeks ago. It was right after we filmed like the last podcast. I just slid down a hill of remorse, and it's funny. I'm actually looking for the clip. When I was streaming, I said, whenever life like just gives you all the amazing things and like life is so big. I basically go on a rant about how everything's going great, and I just slid down. I totally lied to all the people watching me. It was a total lie. I don't know. I woke up and I realized like I was like, well, after I was drinking all night, obviously, of course, alcohol, and I just was like, fuck it, and I texted my ex. I said, why?
I was listening to that fucking stream, and I thought that's what you said, but I was like already in it. Like I was falling asleep. I had it on. I was trying to support, and I thought that's what you said, and I was gonna post on there. No, don't do it. But I didn't, and I should have. I should have been that support for you, bro.
No, it's cool. I mean, I'm glad I did. It wasn't
You,
it wasn't like a weird message. It was just
It
kind of
wasn't the you up.
it wasn't the you up.
It wasn't that you up message.
It
Come
was
on.
no. I wish it was. I wish I was brave like that. It was more of a philosophical. I said, why? That's all I sent her.
Oh,
That's all I sent her was why.
What a fucking poet.
And then she said, she just gave me with all the thing. I said, I was like, and I basically just like let it all out. I was like, I was good to you. I didn't lie to you. I didn't cheat on you. And all the things you're supposed to do. I didn't do any of them.
All the things you are supposed to do. Good
Yeah,
job,
I did. I did all those, and I just felt like this deep remorse. Like I was hurting, and I for a moment. So I just let it all out, and it didn't go really good. She responded to some of them, and then I just like left one paragraph, and then got left on red, and it was really. I was like, fuck. I woke up feeling better. I guess I'm glad I got it out.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, yeah. I mean,
closure you didn't get.
Huh?
yeah. That's all it was.
I talk about closure all the time about not needing it, but I need it. I just wanted it. I you don't need it, but I wanted it. I wanted it. So
Everybody will find some way of closure. Your brain will ultimately find some way of closure. It just depends how you process it. That's the difference.
agreed. So so after that, I felt a lot better, and I was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm good. And you know what? Before I even get into this next story,
Oh,
I got me a C grams. I got me a grown up Capri Sun, and then I also got me a Kool Aid Jammers.
Hey,
Put them
Hey,
together.
there we go.
No
Someone's
dice.
Uh,
Someone get him a cup.
so
he's got a cup to his left.
and this will tie in what today's about. So I'm still kind of new to the dating scene, like in general. I've always been kind of new. I never really like fully immersed in it. And so I sent out my first sext, and I want y'all to rate this sext. Sext with an S. Sext. All right. I'm not gonna give out names or nothing, but I will. She wrote back. Because guys, I'm a fan of mathematics, and she did it. She hit me with that.
You did it.
She hit me with some math like sex, and I had to reciprocate. She said, "I want you to divide my legs and add your tongue." That was the text, and then I continued on and ignored it. So let me go ahead and hit you with the actual message. So after that, she said, "I'm very proud of that joke." Okay, let me drink real quick. Cheers, boys, and everyone else watching.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah. So and you at home, y'all can rate this.
Oh fuck.
She said, "I'm very proud of that joke," and then I said, "The divide the legs ones, me too, especially since you did orders of operations. Division comes before addition." And then I said, "Unlike you come when I."
Go on,
No,
bitch. Let it out.
You come when I fuck you. And then I said, "Too much?" Question mark. And
She replied.
yeah, she did reply. It wasn't like it was.
Good.
There's
Fuck it, you're good.
there's the receipt right there. Y'all can't see it.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, so she responded. Nothing. She didn't respond the way I wanted. She didn't be like. She doesn't like her. What I wanted her is to read that message and all her clothes just explode off her body. That did not happen. I am assuming.
Like the Bruce Almighty when he goes
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah, that did not happen. I'm assuming she goes said something. Oh, because you like math or something like that. But so, what do you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10? But if I use that one as my opening line in future events.
I think it was a little too heavy out the gate. You could have been a little more punny with it, you know?
To reciprocate hers, you should have added some punniness instead of just saying "fuck you." You should have been like punny with it.
See, I think I knew I shouldn't ask you guys because y'all guys don't understand it. Orders of operations, division becomes for addition. You guys remember PEMDAs?
Yes.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I said, I hate, now I'm explaining this. It's obviously terrible.
No, come on, help me. Come on. Let me help me understand.
All right, so she said, divide my legs and add your tongue. Division comes before addition. And I said, I like that because division comes before addition. Unlike you come when you.
Oh
yeah,
see, I get it now.
Well, Ed is still struggling.
I'm still trying to figure out how to divide the legs.
Okay, look, not everybody's that smart, all right? It takes some time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, maybe you should have done something punny with it instead of using that word. Maybe a little something punnier would have helped with your situation. But if it worked out, then it worked out. You know what I mean? It's all good.
I give you props, Steve. I got you.
Yes,
I like it.
Good job.
Like it.
That's like one of the first sex I sent in a while. That's not like a you up text, which is what I'm known for.
Steve's go-to is the you ups.
Yeah, and I bring this up to cover the topic of what we're covering today, because I remember whenever I was a young whippersnapper. And I was out there sending out those sex messages like I knew what I was doing. I was like, I'm gonna fumble with your boobies and you're gonna blowjob me. Cause I didn't know what I was talking about when I was a kid. Now I'm an adult. I know the anatomy. Which brings us to the topic. The boys today are gonna talk about how they lost their virginity.
That's the topic for today. I like it.
It's a good topic.
Fuck it. Let's go.
Let's go.
It is a good topic.
Yeah. So again, we're not going to give out names, but I'm sure the people we know are going to know who I'm talking about, and I'm sure the same thing for you guys.
No disclosures, no names, no locations. We'll just kind of keep it as neutral as possible, but we will share this out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real good.
All right, so Squid, go ahead and kick us off. Give us the deed, and I want the build up too. Don't just be like, "Oh yeah, we held hands and I lit some flowers." I don't want to know.
First of all, I gotta ask.
So you lit some flowers? The fuck?
No, So first of all, I gotta ask you, are you okay with everybody knowing our story?
Like, did you
I like that. Good job. I'm proud of you on that one. You motherfucker.
I was actually thinking something else. I was like, did you fuck
I
my
had
mom?
to think about that one. I was like, wait, oh.
I was like, yeah, unless you fucked my mom. Then no, don't tell
Oh,
everyone
shit.
that.
All right, so this was shit. Fuck.
Uh,
Think I was 17, I believe. I don't fucking remember. This was a while ago. It's nothing extravagant. It's nothing insane. Basically, we were dating for a while. You know, we had done stuff and everything, and we hadn't done it yet. And I, being the gentleman that I am, I wanted to make sure that she like wanted to do it and everything. It wasn't for the heat of the moment because I didn't want anything to happen afterwards, like regret or anything. Cause
yes, for consent.
she was a little skeptical sometimes on like if we should do it or not. So I was like, I want you to be 100% ready. So eventually, down the road, we were, doing what kids do, and it came to that point, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to do it?" And she said yes, and so I lost it at my house. Yeah,
Pre or post high school?
this was during high school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was during high school. I believe I was either a junior.
I was already. Yeah, I was already gone then. Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't anything real big. But
The
only funny thing is,
it wasn't big. It wasn't. Yeah. It was. There was nothing big
it's
involved.
an adequate size.
There's nothing big involved.
Average. I did a beer.
Yeah, nothing big was happening there.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. Steve was a little big though.
My ass
It hurt a
off.
little bit. Yeah, I couldn't walk home afterwards.
Yeah, my throat hurt
But-
afterwards.
Yeah, that's okay.
Jesus Christ.
So let's go ahead and touch base on some of this. So when you say build up, what are you talking build up? High fives in the parking lot, or a hand job behind Burger King? What are you referring to?
What do you mean?
Like you said, there's a build up to that, like to where y'all hooked
Did
up.
you say a hand job behind the Burger King?
We're
Whatever,
like,
whatever is romantic
we were,
nowadays.
like, we were hanging out
Oh,
and we
shit.
started doing stuff, and then it just led to that. And I was like, okay, you want to do this? Like, I want to know you're good. She goes, I'm good, and then that's it.
So they were dating. They were together for a while. They probably fooled around, a lot of foreplay and hit or miss shit, and then finally one day that foreplay turned into the do. Nice.
That's really exactly how it's basic. Like, I guess the most basic story is kind of how it happened for me. It wasn't anything, like, it wasn't a big story on how it happened. It was like, finally it happened. There was a lot of build up between the times, like, we were going to and then we didn't, because I wanted to make sure everything was good. I wanted to make sure she wanted to, all that jazz, and then it finally just happened.
Yeah, consent's a real big thing, and it was not always a big thing. Of course, in my timeline, and I think everyone here's timeline it was, but like having consent is still.
Hey, there's still fucking people out there right now that don't think it's a fucking thing.
Yeah,
so
so-
consent is extremely important.
Everything.
Yeah. I'll kill a whole movement for consent. I'd be like, hold up, before you take that bra off, you got to sign this contract.
I
That-
have an NDA and a waiver.
yeah, definitely, and leave your phone at the door.
You may be asking yourself, Dennis, would somebody actually agree to this? With their phones, dude.
We condone consent in this Discord, and
Consent is everything.
we
Without
definitely,
question.
all about consent on this across the board.
Yeah, that's basically all it was, though. It was
All
just
right.
I wanted to make sure that she was good with going at it, and I didn't want to
Of course,
have to regret anything.
there's definitely and I feel like that whole that not having a regret thing, because a lot of people, young adults, will go through that. They'll do the deed and they have regret afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's such a sad thing, because it shouldn't be that way.
And I didn't want that to
But
happen.
at the same point, adolescent sexual escapades. Use that term.
That's a big phrase for you.
Fancy words.
Young
Whip
having sex at a young age like that is something that is supposed to be an experience. It's supposed to be a good experience, and the fact that a lot of people, especially like people I've spoken to, didn't have good experiences. There it was either extremely awkward, or it was uncomfortable or just whatever the situation, like that sucks, man. I had a very great experience for my first time, and to hear, and I'm assuming Squid did too, right? Like it wasn't that
It
bad,
wasn't
like
bad. No, it was good.
wasn't awkward or anything like that. So
No.
getting to have that and enjoy that first experience together is great. The second time's even better, but the first time is great. All that animosity is gone, all that nervousness is gone, and you
Yeah.
kind of think you know what you're doing. So it's great, but it does suck that some people don't get that experience. And like you said, the regret can definitely be there.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about. That's why I said like it was like I just want to make sure.
Yeah. What about as far as like, did you have other opportunities with other people prior, and they just didn't go through? So did you before the one you lost your virginity to? Did you actually like send
No.
you up message? No, none.
Now,
You
Squid's
didn't.
a one girl kind of person, bro.
Before
I
her
was-
though, before her, like
Before her,
yeah.
no, because I had dated before her and stuff, but it had never gotten. She was like my first serious girlfriend where it got like that. I never had like the most I'd ever done with a girl before her was like just make out. I never done anything serious until it was her, and so it was like a big thing for me. It was a big thing for her, and that's why I wanted to make sure everything was good. I wanted to be that like nice moment where it was
I got
okay.
you. I get that.
But it was because like I didn't have any chances really before that, or at least none that I actually realized. You know, I've always been kind of oblivious too, so
Mm,
I don't know. But from what I know, like,
yeah, being young and dumb is always interesting because girls will be like, I'm gonna suck your dick, and I'm just like, do you even like me? Like, I mean,
you don't even hold my hand.
you don't even like look. You turn off the lights, like. So it's I understand that a lot, but I just wanted to know. All right, here it is. You ready for this? This little in depth.
You going next, Steve, or?
No, he can go and he can go next.
No,
That's
I was
great.
gonna ask you another question.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, even better.
You
Did
just
you-
started wrapping up like it was gonna be.
Did you use protection?
Of course, I use protection. I'm not
Let's
an
go.
idiot, and I've always been in the mindset of I ain't trying to have kids. Not anytime soon. I'm no.
My dad, growing up, literally sat us both down and told us that if we got a girl pregnant before we graduated high school, we would be disowned.
Yeah.
And he wasn't fucking kidding either.
Yeah, and so, of course, I was, and plus, I never wanted to, you know, I was too nervous to try and do it without one. So yes, I used protection. I honestly always use protection.
All
So,
right.
You know, there's been a couple of times where I haven't, but I've always been hella nervous, and I don't like that feeling because, like, shit, I'm not trying to have a kid, so I'll
Yeah, I get you.
wrap that shit up.
Agreed. Kids are the worst. Just kidding. No, they are. When you're a young whippersnapper, kids are a handful. And I have a lot of friends in my high school. There was like I think 23 pregnant girls.
Oh yeah, we all know where you went to high school. Yeah.
Adolescent pregnancies, it happens.
And it's definitely something that I was kind of fearful. So I was just curious about that. I always say on this podcast, guys, great sex is safe sex. Yeah. Yeah. Sign us, Trojan. Sign us.
Yeah, come on, Trojan.
Come on, Trojan. Sign us before lifestyle gets us, because we don't want lifestyle.
Stop.
All
What about
right.
Jerry?
I'd rather fuck with a fucking garbage bag. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I guess I can go on mine. That's fine.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who.
Mine's
Go
mine's just
ahead,
gonna be a little longer. RC, you want to go ahead and go ahead that way I can ask y'all both. kind of
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah. I'll go next, and then you can anchor it out. So, mine was a little weird of a situation. I was 15. She was 17. She lived down the street from me. It was an, I don't want to say awkward situation because she kind of had some experience. She had done it a couple times. I had none at that present time. I knew a lot about like the female anatomy and shit like that because I did read a lot of books as a kid. My granddad had fucking all these damn medical
Girls.
books and shit at his house.
Sorry, I think you say he has like vintage Playboys.
And I mean, hey, of course, boys are boys, right? Shit happens. And then we lived in a technological age where phones and shit like that, porn's abundant is what it is. But so you know, younger ages grasp a sense of what the female body is and all that shit. She lived down the street, and one day me and her were hanging out, we were talking, and the conversation got a little serious of like her asking me, what have I done anything and this and that, and the conversation progressed into the do you want to? And I was like, whoa, of course, what boy at that age is going to say no, right?
That's valid.
Yeah.
Especially since my neighbor at the time really wanted to be with this girl, and it was just even more like sweet. I think she was doing it to kind of stab at him versus like actually wanting that with me. But later I found out that wasn't the truth. At the time, that's what I thought. And we had a very great experience. It was a lot of fun. Granted, like I said, she kind of knew what she was doing a little bit. I kind of sort of knew what I thought I was doing, but overall experience was fucking. It was great. It was awesome.
It was fun.
Then it was fucking.
I love it. I love it. So this was. Go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead.
I was saying, was this a one-time deal, or was this like happening progressively? Like
I was just
over?
about to say that.
Okay.
Me and her messed around after that, and then we actually hooked up about 2 to 3 more times after that, and then we moved. So that's where that ended. And then, of course, my life just progressed and everything else. But yeah, no, we fooled around a little more after that, and we hooked up a couple more times after that. But that was really it. And that was my first experience, and it was like I said, it was a fucking great one. It was really cool to do it with a comfortable environment. We didn't have to worry about like her parents coming home or my parents coming home. It was a really kind of interesting ordeal.
And Squid, were you in the room next door? Just listen to it.
No, this was at her house.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
he wasn't there. No, we did all that. So her parents weren't home. They both worked, so they were gone a majority of the time. They didn't get home till late. So when we got off of school, we went over to her house, and then this all transpired within the matter of an hour or a couple hours or so while we were just hanging out at her house. And like I said, we didn't have to worry about her parents coming home or anything. Unlike mine, my mom was always fucking home 24/7, and she's nosy as hell. So ain't no way that shit happened in my house.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that your mom comes in. You guys, I made cookies. Get out, mom. Who wants lemonade? Just different trays. Well, that's so.
She made a 5-course meal for us. Shit.
And y'all don't play music, right? No music here. Nobody's playing music.
No.
I usually just put something on the
I've had girls who do that. I've had girls who put music on, and it doesn't bother me any. I'm weird. I have to have noise. So I guess one thing that did, fuck me up out of that whole situation is her room was like pitch black, right? She had like a big sheet cover thing over her bedroom window, and the first time we did it or messed around, we had the light on because we were talking, and it progressed from there. The next couple of times we fooled around and actually did stuff, it was pitch black in the room. So my comfortability went from like, oh, I kind of know what I'm doing, to I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because I can't see anything. I'm going to feel. Exactly. Yeah. And that actually fucked with me for a long time. There was a long time that I did not like having sex or anything in the dark. I had to have some light. I had to have a TV on or like sunlight through the window or some shit like that. I did not. And to this day, I still kind of don't like doing things in the dark, complete darkness. I don't like it. I like being able to see what the fuck I'm doing and have that visual on top of physical.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm assuming safe sex as well for you.
Of course, yeah. She had some. I didn't. I was fucking young. I didn't. She did, and it worked out.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. I mean, it's kind of nice. I mean, you were with someone that actually was experienced, so you didn't have to like really work. Like they could show you the ropes. And I'm not sure if you had that same experience, or did you, or did you take her first and she took yours?
We took each other's.
Oh,
yeah, they shared that experience.
Yeah,
Exactly. He had that like romantic incidental experience. Like
I had the the basic classic like loser D card story. Honestly, like that's
in high school too. The girlfriend, like he had a good story. Yeah,
got that. Did you put it like like the term like put the pussy on the pedestal type deal, or were you like anxious about it the whole process, like where you're thinking about like, man, I'm almost 17, I gotta lose my virginity before I graduate, otherwise I'm gonna be a virgin in college.
No, I'm a virgin in college.
That's like the typical like trope of high schoolers is like, oh, I can't be a virgin in college. Like that's.
Well, I also feel like once you get to high school, most guys make too big of a deal out of it, and I get it, right? Honestly, like, how do I put this? I got to be with more girls in high school because I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about having sex. I didn't need that. I didn't chase it like buddies of mine who had never gotten the opportunity, and that's all they were fixated on. All they wanted to do was have sex so they could say they did it. They weren't a virgin anymore. Whatever. I didn't care. It was progressive. It was nice, of course. If I got the opportunity, I was gonna fucking take it. But I didn't have to chase it like others, and I guess that's what made it easier for me to spend time with girls and have that opportunities when I was in high school.
I'd say, yeah, like I think at the time all my friends had already lost theirs, but I hadn't yet. But I didn't care. Like I was like, yeah, it'll happen when it happens. Like I wasn't stressing about it happening, because like I said, there was the other times before that it could have happened, but I wanted to make sure she was like 100% in it. So like I didn't care.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't care either. I was like, it'll happen when it happens, you know.
Yeah, I think we grew up in different time eras, though. There was so much pressure when I was in high school.
You had that friend that said he lost it when he was 12. He was the coolest
dude.
guy in the neighborhood.
But we did grow up in different time eras. I mean, all three of us were in not significant, but we all do have
like 2 years apart on each other.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. So we all are separated in age in the sense of where there could be a dramatic difference on how we each had that experience.
Well, yeah, that was a big thing in my high school. It was like losing your virginity was a big thing. And I remember the first friend that had it, he lost his, and I felt so much pressure after that because I didn't want to be the last one. It was 3 of us. It was 4 of us, including him. He lost his, and then it was the other 3. We're all kind of fighting to be number
Just
2.
pacing.
Yeah, and then I think I was number 2, and then my other friend was 3 and 4, of course. That's how numbers work. But yeah, so all right, I like it, RC.
You would know.
I like the idea of like having.
Any other questions?
I mean, boobs? Question mark? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Solid C cup.
All right.
I got lucky, dude. She was fine as hell. Like she for her age, our age, I should say, because that sounds weird at that time frame. But at our age, she was really, really pretty. And Squid, if I told him the name who I'm talking about.
So I'm thinking right now because I was about to say I don't have any questions because I know exactly.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what friend
she was fucking.
I know the entire
exactly.
thing. I know. But
yeah,
like,
so it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I know. It's funny.
Well, I'll ask this after I tell mine, and then we talk about it. Okay, so let me go ahead and start with it. These are it's really good. I'm just gonna keep pushing this out till 10:30. Then Ed has to leave. No,
you're a dick. I need to eat, bro. I didn't eat all damn day. Come on.
Yeah, I just ate. It was good. One of the things that I always like about my losing virginity, it was 8 months, and that's how I know there was so much pressure because like. You know,
that's a long time.
No, I wasn't fucking for 8 months. The amount, it was like 8 months of build up. We started dating in October, and it wasn't until I want to say like April, March. We were fooling around a couple times. Actually, one of the weird things about this girl, she was very religious.
Interesting.
So, maybe about let's start off with what led up to this. We were kind of high school sweethearts. We've been dating for a good while. We broke up in the summer of my junior year, got back together in October of my junior year, and then we just kind of were really solid throughout. She was really cool for a sense. She was kind of, she had big old titties. I'll say it. She was fun. Yeah, she was really, I was really into her. I was really like strictly into her, and I really liked her.
Yeah, her tits.
Okay.
Yeah, because her personality was subpar. Yeah. Well, there's actually yeah, we had it was just I wouldn't say zero. It was just shitty personality.
That sucks.
One of those girls that will put you down for your status. And just makes you feel low, and she used to do that like after.
I got you.
But during the relationship, I was like in lovey-dovey land. So she gave me my first blowjob, and things. I did not know the anatomy, and I would rate my sex skills right now during this whole process with her probably like a D for dumb shit.
Dick.
Yeah, I didn't know
You're
nothing.
only C now, so at least you've gone up.
I'm thanks. Yeah, your mouth really tells a story.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, I'm much better now. I know where you put your hands at. You put them on their neck. Anyways, uh, I've gotten better. I promise everyone listening, I'm better. I'm up there. I'm an A. I think I want to say an A, but who knows? But like she was, I wasn't really good. I didn't really know what I was doing majority of the time. So she didn't know either. She wasn't like experienced because we did lose it to each other. So
Aw.
she
Yeah.
so romantic, right? We actually, one of the big things I have going on in my life currently, and I think Ed, I know you know, I don't know if RC knows this, is I suffer from a condition known as delayed ejaculation, where it takes me a good while to come. Like when I say a good while, I mean it takes me a good while. This is not a medical podcast, but I'm telling
That's
you,
a condition?
yeah, like where it's almost.
It's a pretty fucking nice condition to have, my guy.
You would think so. It's not. It's not. It's a nightmare.
Dude,
So,
8 months, man. 8 months.
well, it's a psychological one because sometimes it happens quick. Sometimes it won't happen at all. Like there's been, I think the last like
Oh,
Yeah.
So almost like whiskey dick, but just you never get the release.
and I'm hard the whole time. Like the last like I don't know, like
Shit.
It's like playing Russian roulette. You never know when's gonna go off.
like the last 8 girls consecutively, I have not finished. Which is
Holy
like
shit.
during intercourse. It's so,
Yeah.
and I haven't gone to therapy for it, but I think one of the big psychological ones was my first time I ever got head from her was in a vehicle. I won't say whose vehicle. I must have been 16 at the time, and she was 16, and she did it. And of course, you know, we're young, we're in a car, and she's doing it, and then I feel it coming. And
Is this with like friends or family or like you're all in the back of a Suburban or something? Like what?
no, I was driving.
They were driving and they were.
I had my life.
Fuck
Yeah,
yes.
I was parked head. Yeah. Yeah, I was driving and she was and we're in the back seat of a vehicle and she does this. She's giving me neck. She's necking me, and we've already talked about what to do, evasive maneuvers whenever I'm gonna come to my fruition, and it's happening. I give her the old head tap.
Oh, like I got it.
It's happening right now, and the moment it happens, she lifts her head up and goes and just vomits basically like outside the car in the parking lot, and I'm just there like all over the place, and I'm just like,
I
and,
got
like a loose
fire
fire
hose. I
hose.
got fire.
yeah, it was so bad,
Oh, shit.
and
Oh
and
my fucking god.
I think about this till this day that's the reason, because whenever my first time actually doing that, I think she scarred me to the point where I can't finish now because I'm afraid of finishing.
That is like fucking.
It's weird.
Okay, so you stated it was a medical condition. So is it a psychological or a medical? There's two different ones. I have a blood. So I don't know about my brother. I'm not gonna ask, but I know I have a blood flow issue. So after my first release, I don't stop. My shit will stay hard. I kind of lose a little bit of feeling, so I won't come again, but I stay hard, and that shit can last for an hour. And it's gotten scary sometimes because it's been like 2 hours and my shit's still hard, and I start getting lightheaded.
If you're
So,
so
like,
hard after 3 hours, consult a physician about possible side effects.
You gotta get that bitch drained. No,
That one.
it's not. It's not a medical. Well, it is a medical condition. It's diagnosed, and there's been other.
Okay.
There's treatment you can do. There's medicine you can take. A lot of doctors will say just don't jerk off for like a month and you'll be cured. But I'm like, what? What?
No pepper.
Doctor.
The average male is supposed to clean their pipes at least once to twice a week. Just throwing that out there, whether it's through sexual intercourse or masturbation. Please take care of yourself.
Didn't you say 3 times a week on like an earlier podcast?
I did. I looked it up. They changed it. It's now once to twice in a 7-day
I didn't
cycle.
change.
Ed has
I
been
need
doing it
to
3
medical.
times. Ed has been doing this 3 times.
Research.
Ed, listen to your advice. He's been doing it every week 3 times. He's tired.
My routine is
He's
fucked.
got rug burn.
His shoulders are fucked. He's all ripped on one side of his body.
Senior Quagmire walks out of the house.
Jeans is too expensive. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyways,
So
but
yeah,
twice, at least twice every 7-day cycle.
Steve, I'm sorry, dude. That That whole scarriness just makes me think of like, was it the Naked Mile in the beginning with the grandmother?
Well, see, hold on. Can we touch on that for a minute?
Good.
Like that's crazy.
There are a lot of people that, like we talked about, where people had bad experiences for their first time or like regret it.
Hey, hold
There
on,
are
hold on.
people that. Go
But
ahead.
we haven't even gotten to his first time. That was a blowjob.
I know. We're touching there.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I promise we'll get there, guys. I promise we'll get there. It's a
There
journey,
are
guys.
people that have had terrible experiences, like terrible experiences during their first time or related to their first time, that have scarred them to either never have sex again or be afraid to have sex. I mean, what's the movie? The fucking 40-Year-Old Virgin, right?
Yeah.
He had an extremely scary experience, so that kept him from just never trying again.
And he kept fucking up every time. Yeah.
And
Exactly. So that does happen.
yeah, and I have a funny. I mean, well, I know we're pushing. Whenever I told one of the virginity story I'm about to tell you guys, I promise we'll get there. My friend told me his, and I know I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be so funny.
If we didn't tangent, it wouldn't be our fucking show. I'm just saying. Let's
Honestly,
go.
it wouldn't be.
He told me he was like, oh yeah, man, because he had talked like that. He was like, yeah, man. I mean, like she was hot, like she was really hot, and so she was like 23 and I was 17, and we were at a party and she took me to a room and she laid down and I started fucking her and I came, and then it was my friend's sister. And he goes like, don't, he was like, she was like, don't tell him. Well, I tried to hold it in, but I told him like a week later. And then the next day he goes, I thought you said you fucked my sister. And he goes, I did, bro. I fucked your sister. And she goes, no, you didn't. She told me the truth. And then she told all her friends, you didn't fuck her. You were just in her thighs. He was fucking her thighs. So he thought he lost his virginity. He goes, yeah, that's how I almost lost my virginity. And I always think about that story. And I was like, I had it so much better.
Poor fucking guy, dude.
He was funny. He was really cool.
Hey, look, I mean, I'm just saying, at least he didn't try shoving his dick in a girl's ass on accident and thinking it was the right hole. That happened to someone else we know, but same concept.
We're getting there. I haven't told you the virginity story.
Shit.
So
let's go.
Yeah, now we're getting
Let's
there.
have it.
So we have been dating, and she was very religious. So we actually, her and I and my good friend and his girlfriend, which was her little sister, all went to a Bible place called it's called.
Don't call it. Don't call it.
I'm gonna call the program because it is what it is.
Oh, it's a program.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's called True Love Waits. It's a program for the youth to wait till they get married.
Abstinence program.
It's an abstinence program, and I won't say her name, but we have a friend, Squid, that has that ring that says True Love Waits on it. We have a friend that has that ring.
I remember that, yeah.
And the ring is so to symbolize, like whenever you get married, you take the ring off, and the ring comes there, and the band goes around it, and it's supposed to be like, that's now I've waited for true love, and then you can go and consummate. Yeah. So she's going to hell. I just want to say that.
Okay, first off, there is nothing wrong with waiting until you're married to have sex. That is your prerogative and your decision, whether it's religious or not. You do you.
Agreed.
But don't push that onto other people either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand adolescent sex can be dangerous and all that shit. People don't know. Let's do fucking actual sex education and actually teach people what they should be doing versus don't have sex. It's evil. Come on, guys.
That's gonna make someone want to do it more, honestly.
Of course, yeah. If you told me don't push a button, I'm slamming that motherfucker. Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to make a disclaimer on this. Like, if you're young, there's no stigma or age attached to when you should lose your virginity. Do it when you're comfortable. Do it when you're in love. Do it with your friend. Do it with whatever. It's you make your own story. All of our stories
Peer pressure's a bitch, man.
It is.
Yeah, and there's
is.
nothing wrong with any of it, of waiting or anything. I'm only laughing at it because of it's pertaining to Steve. It's
yeah, and if y'all know my background,
that's why I'm laughing.
if y'all know my background and what I believe on church,
not laughing due to what they were doing. Like,
there's a lot. So we went to these classes where we talked to we talked to like a preacher, a guy from the clergy.
A minister, yeah.
He's not a minister. He's like a school teacher that works at the church.
Oh, okay.
And it's me, my friend, and like a bunch of like 15, 16-year-olds, like all young. And we basically got to tell this guy about our jerk off stories. And tell them about like what we do whenever we're feeling tempted, and he tells us, oh, when you're feeling tempted,
times of sin.
Yeah, he was like, when you're feeling tempted, you should go for a walk. And then that's
Dumb.
yeah, and then that's where I learned a lot more about like things called what's called heavy petting. So there's a little chart
Oh.
they give you, and it says like casual kiss or holding hands, casual kissing, petting, and then there's a line. Then it's heavy petting, and then they're like,
Heavy petting.
when you cross this line, you're heavy petting. And I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was like a dog, and I think it still is kind of a dog. And I will tell you right now, I've gone on a date and I did heavy petting on a girl. It does not work out. It's really creepy, guys. Don't try it out. It did not go out. It did not work out. She brought that. She never. She sent me one message.
Out the chart.
She told me, she goes,
Bring out the chart.
she was like, the date was great, but the heavy petting was kind of weird. And I was like, oh. Then she said the petting of my hair, and I was like, oh, that's called heavy petting. You know, I learned this in church camp or whatever. Like, they don't believe that.
Fuck off, dude.
So we went to these classes for a good while, and then
Shit.
I never got a ring. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm going to heaven. Salute to you guys. Sucks to suck for y'all both. Have fun in hell. But I never got the ring because
Got a ring. It's a little
yeah.
late though.
Yeah, it's nice.
I've just accepted. I'm already going down, so I'm gonna have a good time going.
So
Heaven for the climate, hell for the company.
I'll tell you the weird part of this is that my mom didn't know I was going to these classes at 16.
Oh shit.
So I told her about it because at the end of the ceremony, you're supposed to tell your parent to like basically present you the ring, and it was like a token
I
of
got you.
like you're gonna wait till marriage. It was a promise, and I told my mom about it, and she goes, "Oh hell no, mm." She goes, and then you don't follow through and you go to hell. No, thank you. I'm not gonna do that. So I never got my ring because my mom didn't let me. She didn't let me go to abstinence camp. But the girl I went with, she got it, and she was wearing it during the what'd you call it? Sexual escapades?
Exploits.
Escapade,
Escapades.
exploit, adventure.
Yeah. Whenever she was venturing,
Endeavor.
when she was venturing through these nuts, she definitely was wearing that ring. She was wearing that ring prior. She never took it off. So
shit.
1 month before it actually happened, we did the backdoor loophole. I know y'all know what that is.
A loophole.
We did the loophole, and it did not.
Have y'all heard the song?
Yeah.
I got all going
The
out.
song?
Yeah.
It's, like, it's all over TikTok or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
bro, that song's been a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Do not
Has it really?
like that
Yeah.
song. That song is amazing.
Yeah,
I
they're
had never heard it till TikTok, and
they're-
that's because my wife showed me.
they're
Like,
a
I'd never
comedian
heard it
group.
before then.
Yeah, they're a comedian
Uh,
group.
Oh, that makes sense.
Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah,
Yes.
Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah,
Fucking hilarious.
we did that because she was like, at least I won't go to. I can still wear this ring, and we tried it, and I'm trying not to be so vulgar, but let's just let you know, like only the head of the rocket ship landed, the rest didn't, and we didn't know what we were doing.
You can't just go in like that. You gotta caress it. And
Yeah.
try a thumb first, and like
and yeah, I didn't again.
slowly.
And I didn't know any of this. And also, like, one of the big things that happened was that we didn't use any lubrication. Also, we didn't even work. She was on her back. We had no idea what we were doing.
Oh,
there was a
shit.
lot that went into it. So once that happened, we tried it. So it was like a 40-minute thing. We tried it for like 1 minute, and then she cried for 39 minutes in the back seat of a vehicle. Yeah, and it was very awkward and uncomfortable for all of us. And again, it wasn't my idea; it was her
Of
idea.
course. Well, I mean, and that kind of makes it in a better sense that like you were along for the ride. No pun intended. You were there to support whatever she wanted to do. In a sense, you weren't pushing or eggy or anything like that.
Yeah, which is good.
And now will lead to the actual story. So a month later, of course, we couldn't try that again. Yeah, she was like, "Oh no, I'm done with the backdoor loophole. Let's just do
No
it."
dice.
She like threw that out like completely. She was like, "That doesn't exist. I don't want to do that again. Let's just do it the regular way." So a month later, we start talking about how we're gonna do it. And so I'll go ask you guys real quick. What do you consider actually losing your virginity? Because girls, obviously, I mean, there's a lot that goes
Penetration.
into penetration. Ed.
When you enter, yes, penetration. When you enter, like when they go.
Vaginal
Hey.
penetration.
Okay, so for us it's easy, right? It's whenever we stick our penis fully erect into a vagina, or not erect, whatever it is.
Apparently thighs
It would
as
be
well.
hopefully erect because if not, you're playing with a floppy noodle. It doesn't work that well.
They're trying to put wet spaghetti into a bun. It don't work like that.
So the reason I asked is because I have no So the first time we tried to have actual sex, I put my penis in her. No lube, of course.
Did you wear protection?
No, we didn't. The first time we did not.
Oh.
We were already.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Steven.
I know. I'm a slut. I'm a total whore.
Like you're his fucking mom.
He did say that like that. Stephen George Chavez the third.
I think he's been saying that he
Hold
did
on,
not.
hold on. I need another fucking beer. Y'all got me wild.
I'll tell you why. It's because protection, the way you use protection is not about. It's not about. I use it as a prophylactic. I don't use it to not have babies. There's a difference. And we'll talk about that later on in the podcast about
Okay,
why.
I mean, I get it, but I do both. I mean, that's just me.
I use it for both, yeah.
Yeah, but you're coming, and again, I wasn't
Excuse me.
worried about that, about the baby part.
Oh yeah,
I was,
equally
I didn't.
understanding and knowledge and all that shit changes, of course. So.
Yeah, so I still recommend it, of course, to everyone first time. Obviously, there's two reasons: one, not to have a baby, or not to have a disease, but also the other one reason is because most condoms have like a lubricant to it, so it's a lot easier to slide in.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
well, we did
Free
it.
comes a motherfucker. It'll get you.
We tried it, and I got it in, and it just hurt. Again, I'm not carrying a massive pee-pee. You know, a median dick gang right here.
Oh, it hurt, right?
Yeah,
It hurt the very first time.
Yeah, it hurt her, and of course I wasn't shoving.
Oh, wait, it didn't hurt you at all.
No, I'm the man. It doesn't hurt the man.
Fuck, it doesn't. That shit hurt. The first time dude, she would like I was trying to shove my fist through a fucking wall. Like that shit hurt the very first time I ever did it.
Ed, what do you think? Did it hurt for you? He was like, my
Well,
butthole was
I'm trying
sore.
to think. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't walk for a couple days. Is that normal?
I don't know if he's being serious or not. I don't know if he's joking.
He's not, dude. He's
No,
Oh
don't-
shit.
I don't remember.
If you don't remember, you don't remember. I just remember
I'm
the
trying to
very
think.
first time, like it hurt. Like
I know it was
we
tight.
used a condom, but we didn't use lube
But,
or
like-
anything, and like it fucking hurt.
I mean, it might have.
I
It
know,
might
like,
have.
it took like I couldn't just like go in. I had to like.
I mean, have you ever tried going in raw with a girl and you get like rug burn? Like you start snagging because you didn't have enough lube or spit or anything?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I felt.
Kind of the same feeling is what we had. Yeah.
But
kinda
it
same
but it
feeling.
wasn't so severe for me. I wasn't like ow 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 ow. I was like it was just felt uncomfortable. So
Okay,
while
yeah,
y'all's
yeah.
are pleasant, ours wasn't. So once I got it in there, I just left it in there for maybe like 40 seconds. That might be too
So-
long. 20 seconds, and then she goes, "Can we just stop?" And then we stopped. This is where the story kind of progressed, and this is why I asked about when you think you lose your virginity.
You
So
just lost your virginity in this story.
I'm a man, but so and of course she and this is what happened after that. We were at powder puff practice, and I think Ed, you said for powder
I
puff
know
practice,
this story.
you were in powder puff practice for cheerleaders, right? The men with the cheerleaders, right?
Remember the cheerleaders, the female
Yeah.
or the football players.
And
Yes.
and for us, the football players were the coaches. So I was a coach, and she was a player. It was juniors versus seniors, and we were juniors. So she was a player. I was a coach. Well, we're doing it outside of the field, so it's like March, April, and we go out after we do whatever we just did, and she goes there and like we're practicing, and then maybe like a minute later she runs away. One of the girls comes to talk to her, and then she runs off. And then she texts me like, "Hey, can you come over here?" And I go over there, and she goes, "Hey, I'm bleeding, and it's leaking down my shorts. Do you have the shorts?" So I basically go and switch out my shorts for my jeans, give her my shorts, and she comes out with there. So the girl thought she was on her period, so she gave her a tampon to use to go, and she was not. She was obviously,
Broken the hymen.
broken
yeah.
hymen, yeah. And so there was that, and so I never really understood myself. I never felt like that was my losing my virginity. It did get better later on. It started being more frequent. We stopped doing it in the car and started renting hotels.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, we started renting hotels. Eventually, I turned 18.
What?
Like renting hotels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Well, yeah. Like I'm thinking. I guess my mind was still that you were in high school or like at that age doing that. Like I'm sorry, I never rented a hotel till I was after fucking like out of high school.
No, I was in high school at 18.
Sorry, I
like,
dropped something.
renting a hotel. Like it was not like a weird thing. I mean, it was safer that way, and we never were worried
Those
about.
things were different. I mean, like a no-tell motel kind of thing where you can pay cash, but like
Oh yeah, we could pay cash.
yeah, like you can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? Like nowadays,
God.
or even when I was in like right out of high school and shit, during high school, like, you'd have to have a card. You'd have to put, you know what I mean? You couldn't pay cash unless you went to some shady fucking place.
Well, I would give them the card and then I'd pay cash, and they just keep the card on file and they'd be like, if you break anything, we'll charge the card. That's all they did.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really nice after that. It was pretty solid relationship. We'll talk about what happened after maybe another time. But yeah, one of the main things I took away from like losing my virginity is I had it scripted in my mind as this magical moment, and it just wasn't.
Fairy tale.
I honestly thought it was like, candles and Boys to Men, and it just didn't happen that way.
Oh, 16 Candles when he's waiting outside in his car.
Yeah. Let's not quote 16 Candles. That movie's hella rapey.
No, yeah, actually.
But
Yeah.
the 80s, right? But
The 80s.
yeah, and it never happened magically. It never was organic.
Dirty dancing.
But I did learn a lot from that relationship. I learned a lot from losing my virginity, and I got a lot better. Now I want to rate my skills as like, I wish I could just fuck Ed so he can tell me what he would rate my sex skills. But I know.
Oh, you didn't want me to tell anybody about that.
Yeah, I know, but it's gonna be biased. You're gonna be like, oh, you're my friend. Oh, S tier sex.
Bro, look, we'll do a tier list about it, and I'll just put you in S, right? It'll be official.
Perfect. But yeah, that's how I lost my virginity. I think all of our stories are kind of different tells of the tells of the crypt
Different
right
walks
here.
of life.
I mean, I feel like Ed's was the more traditional. RC was kind of
Honestly.
like the fantasy, like hooking up
The
with
girl
the
next
older
door.
the girl next door.
Yeah.
And mine was the
I got lucky.
the remorse, kind of regret toward type deal, because I did feel guilty about hurting her, because I didn't want to hurt her during it. So I did feel regret. I don't think she did, but I did, because I felt bad because she was hurting and I didn't want.
So
to
did y'all try? You said you tried more times after that, right?
Yeah, we stayed together like for another year.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
We were pretty solid for a while. But yeah, there was a lot that went into that. But yeah, all of our sex stories kind of tell a tale that you guys out there, if you're already lost your virginity or you're about to, you can paint it to be this beautiful picture all you want.
While you're losing.
Yeah, you can paint a picture all you want. It's not going to be as beautiful as you hope. You shouldn't put it on some kind of fairy tale. Sometimes you should just do it because you love each other, you like each other a lot, you trust each other. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be something scary. It should be something that y'all want to go into together and have that experience. You shouldn't be scared to do it. It's just something that you do, honestly.
And one of these days we'll get maybe we'll try to do a block of like 2 to 3 females, so we can get that perspective, right? Like, we're speaking from the side of us, like of men on the aspect. And what about females? I know I've talked to plenty. I have a lot of friends that are female and heard their stories, and it's like theirs is the opposite. There were just, I want to get this over with. Like, I want to be done with it. I've had some say that. I've had some say they didn't, and they were unfortunately forced into situations, and that's fucking terrible. But of course, that's the kind of shit that happens too. And I would love to kind of get the other side of this coin eventually, and maybe one of these days we will have that combo with we'll get a couple girls on here and get that other side of the first time from the female perspective, because I'm genuinely interested to see what that looks like. What are we missing, or what parts that maybe we overthought or thought we were doing good, in reality we were fucking up the whole time.
Yeah, I feel
Stay
that.
tuned.
Yeah. Well,
We'll get the girls on, the ones that we're talking about.
yeah, this was a fun one. Whenever
I don't know about that shit, but all right.
I'm fucking mad.
we had whenever we talk about topics, we have a list of topics we want to cover, and this topic was something that was on the list that I put out, and I definitely I wanted to do it because I wanted to show that we are just people, we're vulnerable, we were young whippersnappers as well, and I wanted to just show everyone that kind of a little bit insight on us. And I thought, why not go with the most personal moment we've ever had, right?
Fucking hella personal.
Hella personal, yeah. Now you guys know
I don't know how it can get any more personal than this.
Now you guys know I have delayed ejaculation. Just don't use it against me.
I've known that.
Yeah.
It took you too long last time, man. I got fucking cramps.
God, these people really think that we're fucking.
We're right out of loop.
Everyone thinks we're fucking, Ed. Thanks.
Wait, we're not?
It's only weird if you make it weird. I mean, it's 2022. Come on, get with the times.
I got no money from these fucking hotel rooms. Who else am I fucking?
I would definitely take you to a shitty ass hotel and fuck you. I would not even
Hey, man.
I would not give you premium shit either. I would just be like, just go in the back of the shitty hotel.
I know my worth, all right? It's all right.
The windows are broken out. They're doing crack next door.
Some Mickey D's in a crack motel. Let's go.
No upsize either.
Fuck no, dollar menu only.
Okay, we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it froze out for a minute.
Yeah, it's still recorded everything because it's recording. All right, let me go ahead and
Perfect.
go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and close out this episode. I want to thank my two co-hosts, RC and Squid. You guys are the homies. I appreciate that. Y'all can definitely follow us at YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Did I say that? And any other We're on every platform except I think two major ones being Pandora and iHeartRadio. But come on, who asked us, right?
They don't
I mean,
hire
the biggest difference, if you want to watch, like where you're filming right now, this whole thing, if you want to see us and our banter and our movements, me fucking dropping out of camera every 20 minutes because I'm laughing too fucking hard, go to YouTube. Watch it on YouTube. It's fucking great. If you want to just listen to our banter, hear our shit, and have some own residual comments, go check us out on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, those main ones. Of course, there are other platforms that we are on. If you need to if you need to listen to a podcast, look them up. You'll find us, guaranteed.
All right, Squid. Anything else to add?
Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay tuned for more. We're still trying to come out with that content for videos. We were just talking about it before this. It'll be coming soon. We'll let you know within the next two that when we actually are officially going to start dropping some content. We have
I know we mentioned it in a past video. We were going to start filming mid-July. Me and Squid unfortunately have had a death in the family that kind of interrupted that plan. It is what it is, but we are going to go ahead and start filming soon as we availably can. So look out for that.
Yeah. Well, of course, I'm pretty sure we'll drop it on the podcast the week before and let y'all know.
Oh yeah,
But stay tuned when it drops. So
Yeah,
just keep waiting for it. It's coming. We have some big plans for this next season of 3G1P.
Yeah, pretty hype, guys. So definitely check us out.
Hopefully we get a throw up on camera.
That'd be awesome. So thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you guys had a good time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys. Bye.
Later.
Bye.